Well, I still have Knicks fever, still living off of it. You mentioned Bitcoin earlier. I don't know that Mario would have called it rat poison. We're not involved. We'd rather buy sports teams. They're great stores of value. They actually are good businesses. Capital light. They're tribal audiences. They allow them to exert pricing power. And winning helps, but it's not everything.
How much does winning help? Where do you see that on the income statement?
Well, it definitely has created more Knicks fans, including in my household. It seems like your household.
My Jalen.
But I'm not sure the Knicks are worth materially more today than they were a month ago. They are the most valuable franchise in the NBA. You're paying at $400. The stock went from $250 to $400 this year. 24 million shares. A little bit of debt. That's an enterprise value of $10 billion. The Knicks are worth at least $10 billion based on the Lakers selling for that much earlier this year. And you get your Rangers for free.
Is that why James Dolan is splitting up the teams?
Well, lots of theories about that. Okay. One is to give them financial flexibility. There is this thing, and I won't go too deep into it at 9 o'clock in the morning, but 162M, it's a new provision of the tax code, which makes it more expensive to keep players.
Speaking of Jalen, we have to bring in our Knicks expert, Alexis Christoforous with Chris Marangi.
Hey, we kept Shamet. How excited are we about that?
I'm excited about that.
I didn't think that was going to happen.
We'd like to, bring it back.
They want to keep the core 5 starters, I think, next year.
Exactly.
So, very exciting.
Chris, I want to ask you about Comcast. Big announcement yesterday, splitting apart the company, the NBCUniversal, from the core cable broadband business there. What do you think the strategy is there, and how do you guys think about it?
Well, it's a trend, splitting companies.
Yep.
In 2009, I was here cheering on Brian Roberts, who absolutely stole NBC from GE.
Trough multiples, trough cash.
The world has changed, and it's changed a lot. This split is not a surprise. The timing is a little bit of a surprise. But it definitely gives them increased flexibility. I think you'll see more consolidation, particularly on the cable side.
The joke among media investment bankers is every 5 years, Brian gets an itch and he needs to go out and do something big. What do you think he wants to do in this new world order? I can't imagine he's splitting these companies up and bringing Mr. Angelakis back to retire.
Well, Michael Angelakis is a deal guy.
Yes.
And so that's not missed. Telecom companies need scale. Again, probably 10 years ago, I would have been talking about the broadband hedge, which is to use Netflix. You need fast broadband that was only provided at the time by the cable companies. That moat has been breached by fiber from the telephone companies as well as now fixed wireless. And you got more guys coming over that moat from space.
Okay, but your heritage here with Gabelli, and I was a huge interest in GAB years ago. You guys own media, so I think CNN is with CBS. What's NBCUniversal going to do? It's out in the zeitgeist. Rich Greenfield's talking it up. I mean, they got to mate with somebody, right?
Well, yeah, and there are a lot of pieces. Obviously, they did the spinoff of Versant at the very beginning of the year.
We all remember that.
They have another network in business. But yes, they have kept most of the sports business, the cable networks, including MS Now and CNBC. They have their own path. We love their CEO. We all like the stock, been buying the stock. NBC is a bit different. Obviously, they have the parks business, which is probably the most business within NBC.
Yep.
But listen, Netflix has shown its hand. They want to buy. Probably so do some of the other big tech companies.
All right, let's step back. Just broadly, how are you guys at Gabelli looking at the markets these days?
So, we're in a bubble everywhere, somewhere. It's just a question of where we are in that bubble. And I think we're still mid-innings, to use the sports analogy. Still tons of money, obviously, going into CapEx. That's what's fueled the market. Earnings estimates have gone up. Yep. They've gone up more than the market. And so we're trying to focus on industries that we know, inflation conduits, et cetera. So no change in what we do.
So I know you guys are really bottoms up, look at value, fair market value, private market value. Where do you see value out there? Because it seems like that's tough to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's still down market, down cap, which was a wasteland for many, many years. It's where we started really finding value. Right. It's still there. And the indices have been dominated by semis.
Did you ever do a conference call with David Westin? Like you're on the phone, Chris Marangi, Gabelli. What a wonderful quarter, Mr. Westin. Did you ever do that?
I don't think we got around to that. We can do it right now.
We can do it right now. Joining us, David Westin. I want to get to your really important interview with Paul Krugman, David Westin, but this is just too much media here right now. I mean, I'm sorry. We have a consolidation of American media. David Westin, where are we in 5 years, given your experience at ABC and Bloomberg?
Well, I think it is consolidation. I think that's right. I mean, you know about this better than I do probably, but the thing you've seen with streaming, the big move is technological. It's streaming. Streaming is taken over thanks to Netflix, and now we have YouTube. And the one thing we've learned about streaming, I think, is you need a lot of content. You need a huge library. That's why Bob Iger bought Fox, right? To get really bulk up a lot. And I think that's what they've got to do for MS. I heard you talking about NBC.
So, Chris, what does
YouTube
do? It's all about it. I mean, they're in Cannes. I talked to our people. They're back from Cannes.
Okay.
Did you ever go to Cannes, David?
I have been to Cannes.
Of course he did. I know.
Did you go to Cannes?
I have missed that one.
Well, there's a thing called MIPCOM that you had to go to every year. Where
I don't want to hear it.
Well, YouTube is
you stay at the Carlton, by the way, Tom. Down in the Corset. That's where you stay.
YouTube is the biggest media company in the world, which people forget about. But I think it's more than just streaming. It's live. It's live in sports, like this program.
Thank you.
You know, it's
Rob Schwartz. Live is the new moat. I stole the quote from him. Talk about live.
You can't skip it. I mean, people love to listen to replays of what you're doing here, but it's worth most when we listen to you live, and that's what advertisers are paying up for, and that's why we subscribe.
David, back in your remit at ABC, you ran ABC News for a long time. Where does network news? I mean, where are we here? And I look at Paramount, and they own CBS and CNN. I don't know how that works, but anyway.
So do you want an answer from my heart or from my head?
Yeah, both.
There's two different answers.
Surveillance.
Heart, it's going to be great, and we're going to be really important, and network news is going on forever. Head, I don't understand the business plan.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. And we've seen this. By the way, this goes all the way back to cable. I mean, when I went to run ABC News, Fox News had not yet started. MSNBC had just started.
Right.
And so they came over. But there's been one innovation after the other that just eroded the business plan. So there's no moat around the business anymore. You can't charge unless there's scarcity. I absolutely agree with live on sports, particularly.
Yes.
Sports, particularly. And I'll say, Tom, you and Paul, when it comes to markets, I mean, there's some scarcity there you want. But other than that, there's just, you can't charge for it. And as a result, what you're seeing, I think, is a version of AM radio infecting its way into broadcast network news. That's what you're saying.
I would defer to David, but I actually think that with this polarization of the country, you are seeing MS Now stake out one side, Fox has the other, and it's a battle for the middle. CNN is fading, News Nation is coming into there, maybe the networks.
Do you have to have an opinion? CNN prided themselves, and Matt Winkler and Michael Bloomberg have said, we're going to do a news organization where people don't know what Paul Sweeney thinks, okay? Or maybe they don't know what I think. But is there a middle ground available, Chris Marangi, or are you going to only win with a polarization?
Well, again, using the prior analogy, in my heart, I wish that was the world. In my head, I don't think it is.
The answer is it's never happened yet. When you're talking about general news, what happened here at Bloomberg was unique in that if you go left or right when it comes to money, you're going to be out of business. Because, it's either right or wrong. The market's up or it's down. And, you can't have an opinion. Right. When you talk about general news, then you can have opinions, but they're right and left.
Across America and worldwide, we're continuing our conversation. Thrilled to have David Westin with us, with his work at ABC, and of course now with Wall Street Week at Bloomberg, and Chris Marangi with us, with Gabelli. Even better, 3 media pros, Paul Sweeney, with all of his work over the decades.
Hey, Chris, at Fox, they've seemed to stake their company, and I would argue pretty successfully, on their news and their branded news and sports. Is that enough?
Well, Rupert acted first on this by selling his entertainment business to Disney. I'm not sure if Disney or Comcast would have. I think they probably both would have replayed that if we could go back in history. They've taken a run at Roku or are buying Roku, which is a little bit of a surprise to the street because they're trying to find a business model for what they have left. I wouldn't doubt them. They're very good. They're very agile. So we'll see how that plays out.
Clive Davis has died at 94. Ted Turner recently. John Malone, iconic, and Gabelli was so attached to TCOMA. Where's the next generation of those people, or was that all time lost?
I don't know what the next generation. Obviously, we have next generations of some of those families, but I'm not sure we have the moguldom that we once had, the Sumners and the Johns. Yeah. And Rupert's still around, obviously, as is John, and he's active, but he's active in a different way.
I got to get this in, folks, because David Westin's just killing it. Did you just have a conversation with Paul Krugman?
We did.
The laureate. What did you learn? I saw the headline from your people. David has people.
I know.
You don't have people. Westin has people. And the basic idea is
a person, not a people. A person.
Krugman is coming around to supporting a Trump tariff regime?
Well, I think that may be a little too much, but it was interesting. He said he was actually uncomfortable with where he is when it comes, particularly with automobiles, on tariffs, because he would like to be a free trader. And he said he and other people he knows are very uncomfortable. He thinks that it will not sustain at this point. Given what China's doing, there have to be some sort of protective tariffs, or we will just lose our auto industry.
This is critical, folks, because this is Krugman's wheelhouse. This is how he won the Nobel Prize. Chris Marangi, Mario Gabelli started out as an auto analyst. Are you guys long China EV?
We're very worried about it. Look, we still like a lot of the car parts companies that are sort of agnostic to the platform. Not as much as we were, 50 years ago. We turned 50 this year. So.
Oh, okay. No, you don't look at
I'm 50.
Mario is 50.
Well, I'm 52. Mario's a little older than that, but our firm almost as old as me.